Are you familiar with the term divide and conquer? That's going to be the topic of today's show. This is Walt Weekly, and welcome to the Walt Weekly. We'll be right back. Thank you. Let's start by defining the term divide and conquer. According to Merriam Webster, this means to make a group of people disagree and fight with one another so that they will not join together against one. The strategy of divide and conquer goes back to Julius Caesar and beyond Julius Caesar. It is a tool used by those in power to maintain the status quo. This is done both militarily and socially. It forces fights within groups, keeps them distrusting each other, and keeps them from cohesion because there's so much distrust. And you can see that every day with black people as you look at Fox News and see blacks coming on, disparaging Democrats and etc. So one thing about the Walt Weekly, as part of our mission statement, we have concluded that it's best for us to be apolitical, meaning we are not pushing a Democratic agenda nor a Republican agenda. We're neutral. But should there come a time where we see that a policy or an action taken by either group is to the detriment of black folks and minorities, then we have to speak out. And that's why we're going to speak out today. The time has come for all of us where you have black conservatives pushing the politics of the extreme right wing of the Republican Party. You can be a Democrat or a Republican as a black person, but it's tantamount to being a traitor during this time. Imagine what our ancestors would say if they knew that whites had surrogates pushing an agenda detrimental to black people. I guess this is nothing new. Throughout history, there have been these types of people. Usually, in the case of slaves, they would spy and enforce the wishes of the slave master to get favorite treatment. We would refer to them as house niggers. Today, it is done primarily for the same reason. More so for money and exposure. You know, I have nothing against black conservatives. If you don't adopt policies that are not to the detriment or disadvantage of black people, along with trying to justify the extreme right conservative agenda, you're all right with me. I mean, there are certain issues that conservatives espouse that I probably agree with. This brings to mind a black conservative named Candace Owens. Now, as usual, let me point out that Candace enjoys the right of her opinions. Also, I have a policy of not disparaging other black folks. If I can't say anything positive, I just keep my mouth shut on that particular subject or that particular incident. But in the case of Candace, she swallowed the Kool-Aid, she swallowed the glass, and she swallowed the Kool-Aid package. She is pushing the racist agenda in this country. Look at who she works for. Prager University, I think it's Prager, Prager University. And this is a non-profit organization that creates videos on various political, economic, and philosophical topics from a conservative or right-wing perspective. The videos are posted on YouTube and usually feature a speaker who lectures for about 5 minutes. Prager or Prager University is neither a university nor an academic institution. It does not hold classes, does not grant certifications or diplomas, and it is not accredited by any recognized body. This is according to the most recent update in Wikipedia. But do you know that Candace Owens just did an interview with Vice President Pence? First off, let me say that this is the type of access you get when you are a tool of the divide and conquer strategy. She has access to VP Pence. She's always on Fox News. So, and she's getting paid by Prager University. All right, because Prager is owned by, and I should have mentioned it earlier, by a white conservative guy. So anyway, during that interview, which I put on my Instagram page, I think I put a link on my page, but I'm going to make sure that I do put a link on my Instagram page. And that's the Walt Weekly. And so y'all guys could take a look at that interview and subsequent interviews that she did, especially the one that she did before Congress, which we will get to momentarily. But I wonder whether she asked Mike Pence, where are all the black Americans in the president's administration? Why is there only Ben Carson, the only black guy in the cabinet? Why isn't black America represented in the administration? Why did she ask him that question? She did not. On the 19th of September, Candace went before a congressional committee, and I'm going to paraphrase some of the things that she said. White supremacists are at best a fringe group that does not represent a real threat. And she goes on to say that the Democrats are leveraging this white supremacist scare, according to her, this fear, and it's basically doing a head fake. Now, think about this carefully. When Fox TV mentioned, and this was maybe last year or year before, that there were Black Panthers out there, everybody, meaning the conservatives, made a big issue out of it. Come to find out, there was only like 2 of them. But with white supremacists, you have them in the White House, you have them in the police force, you have them in the military, you have them in your neighborhoods. They're every damn where. They have their own signals. You know, I sometimes I just have to just take a breath. But anyway, let me give you some of the points she made at the congressional committee hearing. She goes on there and she talks about how approximately 83% of families are led by single mothers. Blacks are 9 times more likely to drop out of high school. 83% of blacks can't read above 12th grade level. 18 million black babies have been aborted, causing the black population, to stagnate. And that the Democrats, liberals, are at fault. What she doesn't realize is that this is not a Democrat or Republican issue. The issue supersedes party lines. This is an American issue that must be resolved by resetting the underlying operation of this society. Rethinking how we do things and ensuring that hard work is rewarded, regardless of race. And providing opportunities at all income levels based purely on merit. This also applies to education. I did an episode a few months ago, and it had to do with the desegregation of our schools. And I did indicate that the majority of teachers in our public schools are white. Does he know that? These white teachers can't relate to black students. When they have problems, they basically send these black students to special ed. From special ed, they go into the prison system. And as a direct result of a lot of our young black men being in prison because of the way they were mistreated during their early years in school, is manifested in what you see now. You see a lot of women that have kids with no husband. I wonder does Candace realize that? I have always considered myself a capitalist. If I bring more to the table than the other guy, I want to get paid more. I want to be rewarded. But if someone, due to their race, is rewarded, that's where this country should make the change. In other words, if you're a white guy and you get rewarded based on the mere fact that you are white, that's not right. She doesn't mention that. I don't get it. It appears to me that Ms. Owens is either under a delusion or she realizes what she's doing, but she's doing it to get paid. One thing I can say, racists are neither Democrat or Republican. They come in all flavors. They can be supposedly liberals. They can be right-wing. But racism, no particular party association. The only thing I can say about Republicans is that they're more overt in their racist activities. And they accept racist policies. But racists are everywhere. You don't have to be a liberal or conservative. You can be racist just based on being a person with the power. I wonder why all the fear that we have, that white people have, this country becoming primarily a minority, where the white people are becoming the minority. Why do you think they fear that? Because they think that, oh, we're a minority now, so we're going to get mistreated the way we mistreated people all these years. Anyway, what is the strategy? Divide and conquer. There's no better example than Candace Owens on that strategy. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. And before I sign off, let me just say that we are now on Instagram, the Walt Weekly, and we're going to be everywhere. We're going to be all over the place. And I'm going to still bring you this good news. Thank you. See you next week.